Welcome back to Music Chatterbox Singapore Season 2. In the second episode, we'll be talking about two plucked string instruments, the Chinese Guzheng and the Indian Veena. Joining us today at Tian Hock Keng Temple are Sim Kee and Sanjana. In front of me are two beautiful and humongous instruments. Let's start by learning more about the Indian Veena.
So the Veena is an Indian classical instrument and it is played on 7 strings. So the first 4 strings, as you can see on the top here, is where you play the melody. And the 3 strings over here at the side is used to keep the beat, also known as the talam. An interesting feature about the Veena is the top is like a dragon head. It's called a yali.
The build of this instrument is really so unique and intricate. Well, on the other hand, we have the Guzheng. Sim Kee, why don't you share more with us?
So the guzheng is usually associated with the Western instrument, the harp. They are both similar techniques. It's called the glissando. In Chinese, it's called guazhou. Yeah, I'm sure you're quite familiar with it. Yeah, so might I do some demonstration?
Of course.
So the glissando technique, to simplify, just going up and down the instrument. So it's like this. Yeah, so I think the difference between the guzheng and the harp, right, is that we have a non-pitched tone, which is here, which sounds a bit like Halloween music.
Sounds very eerie.
Yeah, so like the special thing about this, I can do it both at the same time.
Nice.
Yeah.
I see that you're using artificial fingernails.
Yeah, so it's like, it's usually made of turtle shell. We usually wear 4 on each hand, so if I play with both hands, I usually wear 8.
I'm just curious, if you don't wear them, then will it affect the playing by a lot?
Quite. You can hear the tone difference versus this. It sounds more mellow. Here it sounds more sharp.
It's a lot more crisp.
Yeah, yeah. So how about the Veena?
For the Veena, we also have something similar. We use these plectra, also known as clips, which are basically like these metal wires that we wear around our index and middle fingers, only on the right hand though. Because that's where we'll be plucking the strings. Just like how you explained, it's used to produce a more like sharper sound that's more precise.
Sim Kee, do you have any other interesting techniques to show us?
Yeah, there are 2 actually interesting techniques, not really commonly seen on the guzheng. So the first one, we call it pai qing, where you literally hit the guzheng. Yeah, so we just literally hit the string and the sound box. So we're treating it like a percussion instrument, essentially.
Nice.
Yeah, so the second one is that we mimic the sound of the wind.
That's really interesting.
Oh, it's very impressive. And I mean, the second one, I actually haven't seen it before. Very interesting and impressive at the same time.
So there are techniques that we don't rely on the artificial nails, like hua ing, when we bend the pitches. Yeah, so the other one is called chan ing, which is called vibrato. So we just vibrate on the string.
I think these are both very distinct techniques for the Guzheng as well as Chinese instruments, because in this case, there's no fingerboard. So there's actually space for you to press down. And these like indentations is what makes Chinese music sound a bit more traditional in that sense. Before we get Sanjana to demonstrate the Veena, I'm just very curious, what got both of you into learning these instruments, and has it been a tough journey?
It has. it has definitely been a tough journey. I started learning Veena when I was in primary 3, and what got me to start learning is my mum was playing the Veena at the time, and she would never let me touch her Veena because once when I was like playing with her Veena, I accidentally broke her string. So she had to like go get it restrung. So after that, it was completely off limits. So So I thought if I started learning the Veena with her, I'd be able to play the Veena as well. And I've been taking it more seriously the past 2 years.
Nice. So, who's a better player now?
Between me and my mum, I would say me, because my mum has not been playing for quite a long time. So a little bit out of touch.
Sim Kee, what about you?
Quite different from her. For me, my mom forced me to learn the Guzheng in secondary school to take it as CCA. So after O levels, I was thinking like if I should go poly, JC or NAFA. So JC was immediately out of my choice because I need to start school early, need to wake up early, so it's a no for me. So for poly and NAFA, so I really wanted to dye my hair. So this is my motivation.
Where is this story going? Okay, continue.
Yeah, so like, it's totally not music related, so I only choose NAFA because it starts school during August. Yeah.
So you essentially chose your career path because you wanted to dye your hair.
Yes.
Wow.
What
okay,
an
you're
interesting
full-time-
way to choose your career.
Very
So you're a full-time music student now,
yeah.
but are you intending to do this professionally after you graduate?
So I'm currently in NAFA. I'm also in SNYCO. I recently joined the Turn company as well as a musician there.
Oh, so you're basically a professional.
Kind of, yeah.
Sanjana, what about yourself? Have you ever considered pursuing a career in music?
Not really. I don't think I would be pursuing a career in music, but I really like participating with ensembles and orchestras, and such as this. It's been really fun working with SNYCO for this production, and I've quite recently I've participated in Esplanade for the Raga series along with the Nadalia ensemble. That was quite fun as well. I was able to collaborate with different musicians.
Just out of curiosity, like, within your community, is it encouraged to pursue like a traditional instrument like this?
Yeah, it is encouraged. My parents, for one, they think it's really important to be rooted to your own culture. They find that the best way to do that is through traditional instruments.
Now, a moment we've been waiting for. I'm quite sure Sim Kee is excited for this also. We're gonna get Sanjana to demonstrate the Veena.
One thing that I think I can demonstrate for you now is the tanam. Tanam is a very important part to Carnatic music because it's this very fast-paced conclusion to any Carnatic performance. And it's supposed to enhance the beauty of the raga. And the raga is the scale, the set of notes at which a particular song is supposed to be played. And the tanam brings out like the beauty of the raga itself with different techniques throughout.
Wow, we're super excited for this.
So let me play a small snippet of the tanam in the raga Shankara Bharnam.
The sounds from the Veena are very refined.
Very
it's almost like
different
water,
from-
right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a drone noise, I guess. But yeah, this is meant to keep the rhythm. And rhythm, I feel, is a very important part in Carnatic music itself, and every music for that matter. And it's supposed to like demonstrate the different cycles of the talam in Carnatic music.
Earlier on, Sim Kee showed us some interesting techniques on the Guzheng. Are there equivalents for the Veena?
Interesting techniques could be how I pull at the string. That could be something like. There's also this technique.
Those are like trills.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for the demonstration. Very evidently, both of you are very good at your instruments, so we're going to test your skills and understanding of them via a game. Are you guys ready for that?
Yes.
Let's take a look at the rules.
Each player will pick a ball from the box, and depending on its color, you will be tested on your skills and understanding of your instruments. What are we waiting for? Let's play.
So Sanjana, because you picked the blue ball, your job is to share with us a story that ideally also involves you playing a piece on the Veena.
Okay.
Something iconic, something inspiring, something interesting.
Okay, I guess I could do that. So, in a village in South India, there was once no rain. So, the crops were all dying and the villagers were starving. So, what the villagers did is they went to this sage who, as a solution, he gave them this song in this ragam Amritavarshini, and they all sang it, and eventually it rained, and that fixed their famine.
Well, you can play it for us and we'll see whether it rains later or not. This instrument just kind of transports you to a very calm environment.
Very zen place.
Yeah.
It has a very delicate tone to it.
Thank you so much for the performance. Open the envelope and have a look at the emotion that's inside, but don't show it to us. Okay, do you have a piece in mind?
Kind of.
All right, then let's get ready for that. Sanjana, what kind of emotion do you think Sim Kee was trying to convey?
That was very beautiful, first of all. And her emotions are very aggressive, so I'm thinking maybe angry.
All right, let me have a look at what the envelope says. You are spot on. It is angry.
Okay.
Sim Kee, so what was that piece that you just played?
It's called 战台风 in English, is the fight of the typhoon. So this excerpt, this part is really about the typhoon coming in. That's why there's a lot of extended techniques like this, the things that I showed just now. The whole piece actually, right, is very noisy. Yeah, it's quite different from what people think of Guzheng. I think they think it's very elegant, but actually there's pieces like this also.
I just find it so interesting that right after we had that, breath of fresh air, suddenly we have a typhoon over here. Thank you so much for your demonstration. But, after you're playing, I'm quite sure everybody wants more of it. So, right now, let's gear up for the duet between the Guzheng and the Veena. Shall we?
Yes.
Thank you. For the 中胡, it's slightly lower and mellower. So the 二弦 is called the Jihi, and the strings are tuned a fourth apart. See the prints on her sound box and like on top.